Welcome to another series of Design with Pam. Today we're going to be designing this dashboard you're seeing here. Yes, this dashboard is simply like a sales dashboard that shows like an overview of sales agent performance. You can see the sales agents here, their ID, their total revenue, their customers, the customers that brought in this total revenue, the membership ID of the customers, and the status of this customer. So has a customer been converted? Is the customer still the lead? So, and you also see other options here in the navigation menu. You have the settings and you have the download report. So you can design this and allow it to form part of your portfolio, right? So let's get right into it. What we're going to do is go to the toolbar here and select our frame, or hit F key on your keyboard and choose this frame here. So I'm going to go to desktop and choose the desktop frame. So I'm going to title my frame to be dashboard. Let's say dashboard, right? So I'm going to leave the color of this dashboard to be white. So the next thing I'm going to do is to create another frame here. So I'm going to go ahead to create this particular frame. So I'll go and choose another frame and choose frame, and I'm going to draw my frame. But this time around, I'm going to give my frame a different fill color here. So I'm going to click the plus sign where you have this fill, and I'll select this color, and then I'm going to take the color picker and then choose the color. So the color I'm using for this background is F1, F4, FB. So you can use that color. Then I'm going to drag this down. I'm also dragging it to the end. All right, but let's give it a definite size. A size. The width should be 1064, and I'm going to allow the height to be a 961. But I'm going to drag it to the end here. Now I'm going to work on the corner radius. Let's give it a 20. This is fine. The next thing I'm going to do is to create another frame here. So I'm going to go ahead and select a frame, and I'm going to create a frame here. But this frame, I'm going to give it a fill color of white, and I'm going to change the corner radius to a 30. So I'm going to give it a width of 1000. Then for the height, I will give it a height of 864. So I kind of played around it before I got this height stuff. It's not like it comes with it. I just played around it. Okay, so let's position this to the middle. Yep, let's start from the beginning. So we start by bringing in this icon, just to hero icons. So I'm going to find the menu icon. So this is it. All right, so I want it to be 40. I want it to be a 46, both width and height. So I'm going to click on this constraint proportion, so that when I'm changing it, it's both changing at the same, like proportionately. You know, you can see the width here is a 20, the height here is a 20. So I want it to be a 46. All right, but before we go ahead, let's put on our grid lines. So this is what I'm using. Let me detach it so I can show you. Can copy out the settings that I used here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to position this here very well. I think it's good. And I'm going to take my logo here, and I'm going to select the frame here, and I'm going to paste it right where it's meant to be. So the spacing I gave between these two items here is let's give it a 28, and create an auto layout there. Right, I think we're good. I clicked Shift A to create an auto layout. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is to add all of this that we have here. but we can start by adding the search item here. Let's close this. Let's create this search bar that we have here. So I'm going to click R on my keyboard to activate the rectangle tool, and I'm going to drag a rectangle. So I'm going to make the width to be a 292, and I'm going to make the height to be 56 is great. So I'm going to leave it at 56. Then I'm going to round the corner up to a 40. I want it to have a well-rounded corner. So you can see this frame that we created here, it's kind of too up a little, so I'm going to bring it down, go to the Y axis and drag it down a bit. Right, so we have this here. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and change the fill color too. So I'm going to use the same fill color that I used here. I'm going to pick the color. So for this text, for this search bar, I think this is great. I'm going to just type search and then chuck it in. But I'm going to try and change the color to, you can copy color code, and let's add it to our library. So I'm just going to click here. I'm just going to click the, apologies, I'm going to click here, then I'm going to click the plus sign here, and I'll just say non-black. It's close to black, you know. I don't like using the full black color. Then I'm still going to leave it. The font I'm going to be using here is I'm using this Sophia Sans color, so I'm going to use regular, and I'm using size 16 here. So the next thing is I'm going to go and find our icon. Let's go to, I don't know why I like going to pixels. Let's just go to hero icons. Let's find the search icon. Alright, so I'm going to chuck it in here. I'm going to select the search icon and hold on to it, hold on to shift, and then I'm going to select the other one and create an auto layout. Select the other one and also create an auto layout. Alright, to create an auto layout, you be doing a shift A. Alright, so between these two, the spacing of 12, I think that's fine. Then I'm going to go ahead and change this color here down to the color that we have here. I think I titled it non-black. Alright, I think we're good. So the next step is to bring in the bell icon. We have the notification icon here. We also have to bring the light icon, something that shows that night mode, right? Oh, this has changed it. Okay, it's here. Then let's say I want to also find the icon for dark mode. Oh, that's the problem with hero icons. They will have the icon, but you can't just know the word that you're supposed to use to find it, right? Let's say dark mode, you know. This is like the dark mode. You want to toggle between light mode and dark mode on your system, but it's easier to use word to search for an icon in Iconify. So we're going to just type dark. Okay, so we have something similar. All right, where did you drop the icon? All right, this is it. I'm going to shift it here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to hit R on my keyboard. I'm going to draw a simple shape here. For the width, I will just leave it at 84. I'm going to leave it at 84, and for the height, I'm going to leave it at 42. Then I'm going to round the corner up to 100. This is what I'm creating. All right, so I'm going to click on O on my keyboard, hold on to shift, and draw a simple shape. Then I'm going to give it this color here. I'm going to change it to this brown color, which is blue. This is the blue we're using. I'm just using the color picker to pick it. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this light mode icon thing, but you can find a better icon that says better. Oh, I'm light mode. All right, I just grouped this one. Then I'm going to take this one that's shouting, oh, dark mode, and I'm going to change the color to, let's leave it at black. However, I think we should bring it to front. I'm right clicking on my mouse and I'm clicking bring to front. All right, so the next thing again is to change the first rectangle that we created. We're going to change the color to same color that we're using here. What I'm going to do is to select all of it, click and select all of it by holding on to my shift key, and then I'm going to group all of it. Then I'm going to push it here. All right, so I'm going to also take this notification bell and I'm going to bring it here, just so this notification bell kind of gels with the size of these two things beside it. I'm going to hit this constraint proportion and I'm going to try to increase the notification bell to, all right, this is fine. So before we make everything aligned, let's create this other profile thing going on here. So this is more like to show you that this is your profile. If you click the drop down, you might have some personalized items that will be shown to you, or maybe you can even log in or log out rather. So I'm going to hold on to O, and I'm going to click on O, hold on to shift, and I'm going to draw a perfect shape here. So I'm going to make sure that let's make it a 42. 42 is great. Then I'm going to right click and go to pixels just to find a beautiful face that will fit this. I'm just going to use any one that I see here. The first one, this is fine. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click O on my keyboard and I'm going to hold on to shift and I'm going to just put it beside it, and I'm changing the color to green. So I'm selecting the both of them by selecting the first one, holding on to shift, and then grouping the two. So apart from that, we also have a drop down to show that maybe get from your profile section, get. So let's just use this one. This is fine. So look at it here. I'm going to bring it here, place it beside it, and I'm going to select it again, and I'm going to create an auto layout. I just want to bring it to this side. I think this is okay, but the spacing between it, let's make it a 4. I think it's fine if we leave it at this aligned bottom right. Then I'm going to select this, and select this. I'm also going to create an auto layout, make the spacing 24, and I'm going to select this. But before I go ahead, I want to make sure that I am working within the grid lines. I'm going to put on our grid line, and I'm going to bring this down a bit, make sure it's on the grid line, and I'm going to select this search tool here, and I'm going to click on shift A to create an auto layout, but I want to give it a bit of spacing. Let's give it a 32. Right, I'm still going to align it to the grid lines here. So I'll center it here. All right, so I think we're good. We're getting somewhere. We're making a lot of progress. If you've gotten so far with me on the design, give yourself a thumbs up. You've done so well. So the next thing we're going to do now is to create this section here. This section, I'm going to click on T on my keyboard and I'm going to type Hello Dreams Team. So maybe Hello Dreams is the name of the company, right? So it's showing that this is a team of Hello Dreams, right? We're looking at their sales dashboard. So I'm going to make this up to the size to be 18 because I want it to be a bit noticeable, because it's more like a title. So I'm going to leave it at 18, but I'm going to increase it to an extra bold, right? So I'm going to hold on to option key to duplicate this because I want to put the email address of hello@dreams.com. Right, so because I'm paired, I don't want the two of them should not have the same color. One should be like, I'm trying to deprioritize this, not deprioritize in the sense that it doesn't have prioritization or it's not being prioritized, right? I just want you to notice this first one first and you can see the email, but altogether you're going to notice all of them. But let's change the color. So for this one, we're using a regular. I'm going to make it a regular and I'm going to change it back to 16. I'm going to change it back to 16. Then for the color code, I'm using a different color. I'm going to use one of these colors that I have here. This is fine. So this is the colors that I'm using. This one, I'm going to change this from black to our non-black that we've been using since. Then I'm going to select the both of them and I'm going to hit Shift A on my keyboard. I'm going to give it a spacing of 8. Then I'm going to hold on to I'm going to click on O on my keyboard, hold on to Shift, and I'm going to drag the shape here. So this shape is more like the logo of the company, or just something that shows like, oh, it's the company's dashboard, right? I know we already have it here, but this can be a personalized dashboard. You can have the person's name, right? Or this can be the company's, like the company that owns this brand, right? This could be the dashboard of the sales agent, or it could be the dashboard of the manager or supervisor that monitors agents' dashboard or the agent's performance, right? So yes, that's why I put the both of them here. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to try to make sure 71 is good. I'm going to select the both of them and I'm going to create an auto layout. I'll give this spacing of 6. 6 is good. All right, I think we're done with this section. The next thing is to create these items that you see here. Now I'm going to hit T on my keyboard and I'm going to type menu. For this menu, I'm going to use another color here. You're going to notice the menu, right? But the title in this section now is not what we're trying to prioritize. So I'm going to change the color to A9, A9, A9. So, but I'm going to increase the font to a bold and I'm going to leave it at 18. Let's leave it at 18. This is good. Then the next item is dashboard. So what I'm going to click T on my keyboard and I'm going to type dashboard. I right click to choose the correct spelling. Yeah, Figma is great like that. So for this dashboard, I'm going to increase the font to a 20. So while I increase the font to a 20, I'm going to use the same black color that I've been using, this non-black. I think I've given you the color code before. There it is. Right, so I'm going to find an icon. Iconify just helps makes things easy. Okay, so we have something like this, but remember, when you're choosing an icon, make sure you choose an icon that you can find the same style across the different things you're trying to create, right? So I'm going to select the both of them and create an auto layout by clicking Shift A. So I'm going to give it a spacing of up to a 12. I think this is good. Then I'm going to duplicate it. We have how many items there? We have up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items here. So I'm going to duplicate it, but before I do that, to make my work easier, let's select everything, click on auto layout, make the spacing a 44, then select one of this frame here, click Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and everything snaps in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 items here. Where is the word? It's looking too dark, so I'm going to change the font to. I'm going to change all the font to, let's say, regular. It's too dark. It's shouting, pay attention to me, please. There's so many things to pay attention to on the dashboard. Okay, so just hold on. All right, so let's change the fill color of these icons here, because it's actually too black too. Let's change this to fill color here. Yes, I think it's okay. So I'm going to select this one and select the other one, create an auto layout. So let's give it the spacing of 18, because you know. Then I'm going to duplicate this, come here and type settings. I'm also going to duplicate this, one of it, and then type, I think we have what we have is accounts, and we also have reports. So I'm going to select the both of them and give the spacing of 44. Select this two, give the spacing of 18. Then for the two of them, I'm going to select this group here, also select this other group and give the spacing of 32. I'll create an auto layout just to align everything. I think the spacing is too small. Let's give the spacing of 44. All right, let's put back our grid line just so we see what we have done so far. I think our items are sitting pretty well. So let's push this to the top most a bit. Okay, we're also going to push this a bit, make sure the spacing between them, I think a 48 is okay. We're going to create the download report button that we have here. Okay, so we're going to click on T on our keyboard and type download report. So I'm going to create an auto layout here a bit, then I'm going to round the corners up to 100, then I'm going to add the fill color here. Let's just go and pick our color code here, our main color rather. Our main color here. We are going to change this text here to white. Let's work on this horizontal padding. Let's give it a 24. 24 is okay. Let's give here a 12. Right, so I'm going to go and bring our icon here. Let's go to hero icons, then we have download button here. Let's find this download button. So let's find a way to take the download button and chuck it into this frame, where this download frame here. So brought it in, then the spacing between the icon and the download frame, which is here, let's give it an 8. So I'm going to change the color here to black, to white, just like we have it. I think we're good. Then the spacing, let's give it a 32. Right. Right, so we're good to go. So far so good. We've created that. So let's create a dash. Let's title here sales dashboard. Let's title it T. Hit a T and type sales dashboard. So I'm going to make this title as much as 24, and I'm going to make it as, I think bold is great. Bold is great. So the spacing between to the top right hand side, let's give it a 32. 32 is great. Let's make sure it snaps on this grid line. Okay, so far so good. We're doing very great. Let me show you what we have done so far. If you've done this so far, congratulations, you're now a UI UX designer. All right, so next thing is to create all these items here. We're going to create all of these items here. So let's click A or T on our keyboard and type overview. So we have overview, but for the overview, I'm going to make it a font 16, and I'm going to leave it as bold. Then I'm going to duplicate this and type, we also have sales performance. I'm also going to duplicate it. We also have customers. We also have acquisition. Now what we have is customer acquisition. I'm going to select the both of them, select all of them rather, and create an auto layout. Sorry, I didn't arrange this very well. Select each of them, create an auto layout, and then give it a spacing of, let's give it a 24 spacing. So from the top, let's give the spacing from the top to be 52 and 32 from the other side. So we also need to create a search tool. So I'm going to duplicate the one we have here. Then I'm going to try to reduce this one. I'm going to find the rectangle itself, and I'm going to reduce the height to a 42. I'm going to position this better. Then the width should be a 2. Let's give the width same. Let's find the rectangle too. Let's give the width a 234. All right. Right, so what next is left for us? We have this filter icon, right? So I'm going to duplicate this here, and I'm going to change this text here to be filter. Then I'm going to come to the section and make sure I select the rectangle, which is what I used to create the shape. So I'm going to make sure that the width is, let's give it a 124. Right, so let's just drag it to this place, but let's find an icon for it. Let's go to hero icon. Let's use this suits well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this, click on Command X, and then go and make sure I select this icon itself, or I can find it from this tube, this layers panel here. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to type paste to replace. Yes, I think we're good. So I'm going to try to create some form of auto layout by selecting the both of them. I'm going to give it a spacing of 32, which is okay. I'll shift this to the side. But I'm also going to select this and create another auto layout, and I'm going to center it, and I think we're good. So I'm going to try to make sure the spacing between this and what we have up there, let's leave it at 48, and we have centered it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to hit L on my keyboard, hold on to shift, and I'm going to draw a line. Okay, so I'm going to try to center this line, and I'm going to change the color of the line. I don't want it to be black. I'm going to choose this brown color, so you can copy the color code here. So I want you to know that what you have selected, or you are actually at the point, what is displaying to you is what they call it is the overview, right? So I'm going to select this line. I'm going to click on Command C, Command V. That means I have two lines here. Then I'm going to go to this last edge, and I'm going to hold on to my shift key, and I'm going to make sure that I selected the one that is on top, not the one that is on the bottom, the one on top. So I'm going to allow it to start here. So I am going to give it this fill color, right? Just so you know that the board or whatever that is in front of you is overview. So if you change to this tab here, this sales tab here, this line is going to move and occupy the sections that sales performance occupies. Right, so what we're going to do now is to focus on creating this section here. So with the knowledge we have so far, I believe we'll be able to create all of this, right? So I'm just going to copy out this and I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to try to bring it just a little bit down. So all right, so we have spacing of 16. So I'm going to work on this one. So you see how it is done, this name and ID here. So I'm going to hit C on my keyboard and I'm going to type my name, Pamela or Hyrie. Right, so if this video has been helpful, you found this helpful so far, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also send me a Figma file of what you've done so far on your own. I can help you review it, right? Okay, so I'm going to do this and I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to change the color to AC and I'm going to make it a bit of medium. Let's make this is regular, so I'm going to reduce this font here to A14. So this one is going to be the ID that we have there, ID of the sales agent. Let's give the sales agent, let's see, so I'm going to select this, select the other one and hit Shift 8. So let's reduce the spacing to a 6. Right, we have this. The next thing we're going to impute is the revenue, total revenue that the agent brought in. Let's say 20 million. Okay, so since it's a number, I'm going to go ahead and increase it a bit and also try to make it a bold, but let's leave it at 18. So the other one is the name of the customer. Let's give the customer, I'm just selecting like the test font that I have here. So I didn't create like a design system just so I do everything from the scratch, but when you're making designs or you have a project, it's always good to create a design system so that you don't need to type everything from the scratch or select change things regularly. If you keep on doing that, you might end up using different colors at different points in time, except you're very, very conscious. So you can also follow me on Instagram. My name is Pamela the Designer. So membership number, let's give this person a membership number. This is good. Then status, I'm going to say active, but I'm going to make this an auto layout and I'm going to round the corners to a 12 and I'm going to add a fill. When something is active, it's usually a green color, right? So I don't like the fill is, let's give it a 24. Okay, so I'm going to try to work on this section. Let's make this an 8, no, a 12, and I'm going to make this a 4. Then for the text, I'm going to change it to white, so make it a bit of medium. Right, so what I'm going to do now is to select all of this, put them in I'm going to make this start from this section, right? So I'm going to just align it very well myself. I'm just following the line and Figma's guidance. All right, for the status we have it here. Okay, so we're going to let's try and reduce this one a bit. Let's give it a neat. This is okay. This is okay. I'm just going to select all. I am going to group it. Alright, so this is how I created all of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to duplicate this, select the both of them, add an auto layout, give the spacing of 16, select the second one, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl V. Okay, so this is it. You can make the edits, maybe change name of the agent, the amount, the customer's ID, and the act status states. But so far so good. This is your design. Let's see what we have created. All right, so far we did do good, you know, we did good. So if you relax, you can actually create it and even make it better than it is. But however, you get the concept. This is me, Pamela the designer. Please connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you found this helpful, please share to friends and family so someone can benefit from this knowledge. See you next video.